I just wanted to make sure we had everything ready. I didn't know if I'm supposed to have it or it's a you thing. Because if
Yeah.
it's a me thing, I can just get it
That's a
real quick.
you can only request it for yourself. For someone else you need consent. So that's why I wanted your PO so that way I can send you the letter too. And Bryce
Right,
says
right,
he
right.
doesn't mind
Hello.
going through one as well.
Oh, hello,
Hi
Mr. Hackett.
Dan.
Shit, I needed to speak to him too. I forget what for. I really gotta start writing things down, and I really need to get it checked out as to why I'm forgetting so much. It's been happening a lot more recently, and I'm kind of scared.
Is it since you fell off the third floor?
Uh,
You should
Holy
have really
shit, you
went
might
to
be onto something.
pillbox.
You might be onto something, Kelly. I probably should get that checked out.
What the
Oh, hello.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
Rooks, what are you doing on the table?
Hey, pal, how you doing?
He sleeps in
Taking a
the
nap there?
weirdest places.
Rooks?
Oh, and right, okay.
No, no.
And
I mean,
does a couple circles and comes back in.
If you need SOPs for head of security, Brooks was the former head of security. He would have it for you.
Right. Oh, Mr. Brooks.
Brooks?
spit it out, Brooks. Come on.
It's quite a nice beard.
Yeah, it's well maintained as well.
Sorry, I'm still having my hearing problem. I
Oh,
I don't know.
Hey, sorry. I can hear you now.
Everything sounds like aluminum cans right now.
oh,
Oh,
really? Interesting.
This is what happens when you
this
fly
is
back
not
home.
beer. This is a bottle of soda.
Yeah, it looks it. Well,
This is going to be a very weird question that I need to ask, but I actually just spoke with the interim sheriff. Um,
mm-hmm.
he suggested when you pat people down, just do it the same way when people get robbed. I've never
Mm-hmm.
robbed anybody, so I don't really know how to do that.
Think about stealing.
Would you like to search me?
I would. Hey, let me just chug this down.
Okay.
Mm, mm,
That's crazy.
mm, 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 Sorry. There. Sorry. Come on. Nope. Nope. Yep. Come on. Oh, it's real fizzy. Ugh. Look.
It's okay. I've got nowhere to be. Oh
Oh.
my god.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
That's
That
what
that was a
happens when
lot
you
of
chug
soda.
soda.
It was a lot of soda.
Jesus. Hey, come and rob me.
Look. All right.
Why don't you look more intimidating and have your gun out?
I'm gonna go hang this hiring flyer.
Hey, Kelly,
Hmm?
give me 2 minutes, please.
Oh, would you look at that? It's good.
Can I go now? I'm free to
Hey,
go.
thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Give me 2 seconds, please.
Completely forgot your name, sir.
You okay?
Yeah.
Promise?
I'm a big girl, Dan.
I know that, but just want to make sure you're okay, that was all, before I head off to bed.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Well, I see. That's the thing. I do worry about it, Galax. I worry about you because I care for you. Okay. I'm frustrated at the decision. I'm frustrated at the case, but I still care immensely about you. So I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Fine.
I mean, okay. Enjoy the rest of your shift. I'll speak to you later, okay?
Mhm.
Have a nice night.
You too. Enjoy your book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's nah, nah. By the time it gets back around to me, nah. I was hitting the brake the whole time. Are my brakes shot? Okay, they're not working. Oh no, it's just nighttime. They're working. Oh my! Imagine on a freeway. That's so dangerous. Ooh, flag. Okay. The extra lap around the block isn't helping. I need the flyer. Sure that City Hall hiring takes to February. Great, and it's the last day of February. In that. For tomorrow would have been a lie. I had to change the month. hearing any better?
Kelly,
Hmm?
what has went down in order for us not to carry gun or to, sorry, not to carry, but to have holsters in this building? What went down?
What do you mean not have holsters?
What's his name just said that he was told that he could not have a holster, or, you know, like I used to as security guard here,
Um, from my
because
knowledge,
something went
nothing.
down a week ago, apparently.
Oh, was it when the mayor resigned?
I have no ass idea. I've been gone for like fucking 4 days now, so I'm playing catch up.
I he never mentioned this to me. I know he had his holsters the other day, and then
And
he
he
didn't.
said that AG said something to him about it, that because we're a concealed carry. I said, but in the SOPs and everything else, you have lawful reason to carry.
Yeah, see, that I thought would be okay. That's why Deputy Walker was asking about that too, if he were to acquire the Humane Labs facility. But I think that's probably going to have to be something that's like an executive order, why people in this building would be able to carry. Because that's what I said. Like, this isn't an open carry state, but I guess if you're in Blaine County, different rules. But
Well,
they're
that
going to.
law was supposed to get fixed anyway, but
I mean, my uncle's rewriting the entire Constitution, so who knows what's changed and what's not. Because I did say in the meeting with Humane Labs, like, you organized it so as long as you are working in your security capacity or you are escorting, you're part of an envoy to take the mayor to and from a location or any government worker, you are allowed to carry. That's within your job description. So.
I just don't like it.
So the mayor might have to write it to give security like immunity from that role. That role. So deputies and government appointed security.
I mean, how often you see me running around this goddamn building with my hip on my gun on my hip? I do it all the time, and nobody's ever questioned it. So why are they questioning
Just because you
the?
do it doesn't mean it's like not against the law. It just means no one's questioned it yet. So now that someone has questioned it, you'll need the proper paperwork. Because that won't be a defense in court. Like, no one's ever said anything. Well, the AG said it now.
Yeah, but I also have lawful reason. I guess that's the other thing is I have lawful reason to do it.
Yeah, just like somebody in self-defense. So you pull out the gun to defend yourself, and then once the threat has been neutralized, you put it away.
I just didn't know if there was something that major went down and everything
No.
else that
No.
this all got shoved and combobulated. I have no. So I said, this is what happens when you take a 4-day vacation.
Yeah, this is what'll happen in court. They'll want to read it to you as it is written. So you should have protections for yourself. This is why security can carry. We have the written consent of the mayor's office. So all that just means is you need the paperwork backing now. Because no matter what, any protocols that are put into place by a business or institution, it cannot supersede the Constitution. So if the Constitution says no open carry, your SOPs will not, it won't hold you in court. But if the mayor passes an executive order, government appointed security are allowed to carry, and it goes through judicial review and it passes, then yes, it can work in conjunction with the Constitution. This is a special exception made for government employees only. Because if anything, it hasn't been questioned because it's you. Not because it's someone that's not you, it is being questioned. And then they'll be liable. So you don't want that.
I mean, I have two things back, and it's not. I don't really care for me because I'm a full fucking I'm part of the sheriff department, and as a bailiff, I have to carry a gun anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But it was just he was like, yeah, the AG said I couldn't, and I'm like, okay, why was I never questioned about it? Like that's my whole mindset of, and I understand it's me because I have a person, friendship or whatever you want to call it, a bond with everybody here, and people are new coming in, they don't want to. But I just didn't know if there was some major event that went down
And
or
that should be written up as well. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says bailiffs are like exempt from that. They're not deputies, so they should just clearly outline the language because you can't allow the bailiff to carry, but then security can't. Like, both of you work in the same building, you secure pretty much the same people. And then one day you could be seen with your holster, and they could just say, yeah, well, this isn't in the Constitution either. Nowhere does it say the bailiff. It's only open carry allowed for those that work with the Los Santos Sheriff's Department. And even though you're a bailiff, you were not trained by them, you were not employed through them, you're employed here at the courthouse. So same as security, you might not be privy to that. So I would just make sure you are clear with the AG and with the Chief Justice. Hi, Alfie.
How you folks doing, alright?
Mm-hmm.
Glad to hear. Sorry if I interrupted your conversation.
no, I'm just trying to wrap my head around shit that it's called being gone for 4 days. And
If you'd like a second opinion, do
Yeah.
ask.
It's about open carry. So Brooks has been here and he's been acting as like head security and bailiff, but today the new head security, Joey Fierro, he was told he cannot have his holsters as this is a non-open carry state. But in Brooks's SOPs, he has written that the lawful reason they have the open carry is because they are government appointed security, they're protecting the people in this building and as they travel to and from this building. But I told him, even though he has it written in his SOPs, that's not law essentially. Your protocols and procedures, SOPs, whatever you want to call them, they cannot supersede the Constitution. So even though you have it written and that's your lawful reason, the defense will argue otherwise because they will follow the Constitution and that's what's going to hold up in court. The lawful reason for pulling out your gun, if you're, if there's a clear and present danger, you're deferring a threat. But as soon as that threat has been neutralized, the gun goes back away. So even though he's been allowed to carry, that's because no one's questioned it. But just because it hasn't been questioned doesn't mean it's lawful. And now that it has been questioned and you've been advised, it wouldn't be wise to still continue to carry. You should have the mayor write an executive order. That is your basis, that's your premises, that's your cover. This is why you're allowed to carry. You on the mayor's authority. And then if the Chief Justice, it passes his judicial review, then it's not contesting the Constitution. He has it working in conjunction with it. No one's allowed to open carry except A, bailiffs, B, government appointed security.
And I will say there would have to be. This is obviously I'm assuming I will probably already know this, but if that executive order is something that does get into place, it would have to be so insanely specific on when and where. No grey areas.
Yeah.
So personally, if I was a Chief Justice and that came across my desk, if there was, a grey area, which means that, something could happen, and nope, vetoed.
Yeah, it's like if you are on the clock, you're government security, and let's say you wanted to take a lunch break and you go to Burger Shot. No. If you are on the clock and you are transporting the mayor to and from the Los Santos Sheriff's Department, yes, you have your holsters, you are acting in a government official capacity, not your lunch break.
So even something as going off those steps at the front of City Hall. Anyway, I've just got a new case in today. It's gonna be an interesting one.
Yay!
that's another thing we need to fucking goddamn talk about. How the hell are we communicating when the hell is a court case or not? Because apparently I missed like 3 of them that I didn't know a single thing about.
I
Communication
believe
is
at the
poor.
moment it's word of mouth.
Yeah,
What-
there needs
we
to
need to
be
figure out
a
something.
better
I mean,
system.
I think it could be something that could get put in the city bulletin. To be honest, I think it's the perfect place for it to be put.
Or there should be some kind of like open docket, maybe in the public library, so people can see cases that are upcoming. People can see cases that have passed as long as the records aren't sealed.
Oh, might be later down the line when they've got the whole shebang figured out. I just figured out that word today. Shebang. I like it. It's a good word. Anyway, maybe like if they were to come up to this computer here, they could see all of the cases that were happening. You know, I think that'd be interesting. But that
That would
relies a
work
lot
too.
more. That has a lot more than doing what what you suggested.
Yeah, you need to get the technicians in here to like reprogram it. At least in the
And then we'd-
library, like one of us
then
could
we'd-
physically update it.
Yeah, and then we'd have to have a way of actually having dockets, you know, not on and within, you know. So yeah, that'd be difficult, I think. At least not on the top priority list of the technicians. So you folks had a good day today then?
Well, I mean, it's pajama day. I always have a good pajama day.
These are my pajamas.
These are my work appropriate pajamas.
No further questions. How'd your date go the other day, by the way?
What date?
The date with Miss
Oh,
Bria?
rather not talk about it.
Okay, okay. Any Mr.
Hello.
Moses?
Hello. This
Hi,
gentleman
Susan.
was, yeah, this gentleman was looking for to register his interest in one of the jobs that's open, I believe. I'm not sure. Is one of the city clerks around or whatever?
Yeah. I just seen the bulletin and I seen you guys were hiring for either the clerk, custodians, or security. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
I see,
Yeah.
it's
I'm sorry about that.
It's a doctor.
All right, so what you would want to do is write a letter to city so that way we have your information on file. Let us know what position you were looking to be employed for, or if you're interested in all of them, you can say that. And please list any relevant business experience, and someone will get back to you within 48 hours for an interview.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you. Well, yeah, I'm a little fresh to the city. Almost a week, and yeah, I really don't have that much work experience. I mean, I have worked at the construction, and I did do the cemetery cleaning. But I mean, besides that, I mean, I'm not sure if that'll be any relevance to the jobs. But yeah, I'll go ahead and mention that when I send the PO.
Out of state work experience is relevant too.
Gotcha. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and mention that when I do send the PO.
Yeah, and please write your full name. A lot of people do not write their full name.
Okay. I hear you. I got you. Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate you guys' time.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know, mate. I lost the ability to speak for a second then.
Is your name Robert?
My name? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Rob. Yeah, Rob Jameson, like the whiskey.
I think that we met, like, I was with Alfredo the other day.
Oh yeah. Right outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, it's me. But yeah, no. Since then, I've just done a couple side jobs here and there, but I was actually interested into the city work.
Yeah. I can tell you if you were interested in clerks specifically, it's a new role we're hiring for here. They're going to be the ones that help get people involved in the city support program. So if they want to throw events in the city, and for processing business applications. So like if you have any out of state experience, like maybe you worked in a law firm or I don't know, I can just go off mine. I worked in customer service and retail before I got hired here. So I made sure to list that in my application.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, I hear you. To be quite frank, there's not really much prior work experience, but I'm hoping, for the security, it won't take that much, but I'll definitely give my interest in that.
Yeah, and they should be offering training. I know at least with the old mayor, he wanted to have new security train alongside with the deputies. So if they were like really raw, and then we have head security here that should also be willing to take you out and get you trained on.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I actually was able to get myself a license and a vehicle, so I'm not sure if that'll do me any good when I do apply, but I'm just hoping.
And for any government job, you should know that it's going to be requested, at least for here, to have a background check conducted before a job offer can be made. So please don't have any felonies.
Yeah, no, no. I was trying to steer away from any of those activities, so that's why I was
As a
just trying
lawyer,
to.
but not your lawyer, I would advise to do that.
Got you. I got you. I hear you. But yeah, no. I'm hoping obviously once the background check is processed, they won't be finding any criminal record or anything like that for me.
Yep, then you should be good to go.
Uh, Thank you both so much. But yeah, I'll be sure to give my PO real soon, real soon.
I'll look out for it.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Have a good rest of your evening, mate.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Can I get your opinion on something?
Repeat something?
Can I get your opinion on something?
Oh, opinion. Yeah.
Yes,
So-
you're beautiful.
Thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
I was thinking something came across my mind earlier today. So, at the moment, in charges related to vehicle theft, we have things. We have the Grand Theft Auto, and we have we have possession of a stolen vehicle.
Uh-huh.
Now, I was thinking of speaking to Chief Justice, and then potentially speaking to the council folk, to see about getting a new charge inputted into the penal code, joyriding. So that wouldn't be taking a local's vehicle, for example. But if someone took, say, your vehicle or my vehicle or something like that,
Doesn't that fall under Grand Theft Auto A?
Well, no, because
No,
that
I think it falls under B.
B is
because
a
that
government vehicle.
because that A implies that they're keeping the vehicle, where joyriding would be they're using it just to do what they want to do, and they don't plan on actually, stealing it. I think it just adds an extra layer of things.
Is it going to be higher or lower than Grand Theft Auto?
I feel like it would be low. See,
Yeah, it's
would-
lower than gravity.
for joyriding, I think that would only fly if, let's say, I did lend my car to you, and then you chose to drive like recklessly in it. Maybe like you misused the vehicle. I think that would be joyriding. But because A would cover it, like whether they intended to give it back or not, they still stole it. The amount of time you stole it for, that's irrelevant. You still stole it. You took it without the owner's consent. It's stolen. Even if you abandon it, even if you drop it off back to where you got it from, you still took it.
To me, joyriding would be more you stole a car, but you don't use it for a crime.
Yeah, maybe you're just driving around. Maybe you're speeding or you're blasting music.
Yeah,
Or even if you're just driving innocently, if it's not your car, I think joyriding would fall for that one.
Yeah, I think that is, yeah, I think that is what I'll probably. I mean, if you've seen the Chief Justice before, I do. If you could mention it to him, because I just it's quite a big jump, you know. You
Yeah,
know, say if someone is just driving a vehicle around that isn't theirs, but they're not, you know, they might be run a few red lights, do a bit of speeding, but they're not exactly using it to escape from a, you know, robbery or, you know, whatever. I feel like just as a no, don't get me wrong. When it comes to the specifics on what sort of crime and the time and the fine and whatever, I don't know because that's not, you know,
you think
above my
it's too
pay
harsh
grade.
of punishment for their
Isn't there a
action?
charge for that though? Like if I'm
So there's possession of a stolen vehicle. I think it just all depends on how the actual writing of it would be articulated, but I do believe there is a way to actually have it articulated in the way that it would sit nicely in between them all.
I think it's kind of like the levels of force thing that you do with the security bricks. So based on the crime, like after they've stolen the vehicle, would it be joyriding or would it be grand theft auto? Because like grand theft, like that keyword grand, maybe that also plays a factor in it too.
I would say,
if I
he-
remember, Grand Theft Auto has to be over a certain amount. Or am I thinking of a different charge? Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't been on duty for over 4 days, so I'm.
no, so Grand Theft Auto A is
Okay, I'm actually reading it now. So no person shall knowingly obtain or use or endeavor to obtain or use the vehicle of another temporarily, or permanently without their consent. So no, this would cover joyriders as well.
See, I just feel right. I feel like in a lot of other sections of the penal code, there's ways for, say, a lawyer like me to talk things down to other things.
What is possession of a stolen vehicle?
There's no person shall purchase, receive, sell, conceal, or be in possession of a stolen vehicle. So that's a misdemeanor. Grand theft auto is a felony.
Oh, whoopsie, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think that would be your joyriding. If you wanted to talk it down to a lesser one, one's a misdemeanor, one's a felony, and they're both worth $200. So at least one wouldn't stop them from getting a government job.
From my understanding as well, Grand Theft Auto, for that to be applicable, the officers would actually have to see someone stealing a vehicle in front of them as well. Actually.
Yes.
It might. Maybe it's just the phrasing that I'm used to. You know, it really is something having to relearn an entire penal code of charges.
Yeah, so the main thing you gotta possibly have to argue is the consent part.
But then at the same time, if someone is charging my client with possession of a stolen vehicle, which I mean, I see it.
I mean, it's not a felony.
Huge.
It wouldn't
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
So here's another thing you have to think about. Okay, so you have Grand Theft Auto, joyriding, and we'll say possession of a stolen vehicle, right?
Mhm.
Which one of those can stack and which ones can't?
I'd probably say the actual theft of it. So if they were to, if the officers were to see someone actually stealing the vehicle, and then them joyriding, but also then possession of a stolen vehicle could also. But then also I'd say that the Grand Theft Auto A includes possession of a stolen vehicle and joyriding. So
no, that's without their consent. So they could argue the consent part all day, and with a good lawyer, they could probably have Grand Theft Auto knocked down to possession of a stolen vehicle. But let's say they were in a car chase with that first car. They can't prove that they didn't have consent the first time. But if they get out of the car because the engine died and they get into a different one, that's Grand Theft Auto. You just did it.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, I misread. Both of them are misdemeanors, so neither one of them would stop them from getting a government job. It's just one has 15 months and one is 10 months.
Oh, it's Grand Theft Auto B that is the felony.
Yeah, that's a government vehicle. That's why it's a felony. But yeah, they're relatively
Yeah.
the same charge, give or take 5 months.
I almost stacked A and B on somebody, but we decided not to be that petty.
don't know if you.
Yeah, no,
if
you can stack them
stole like my car and
you
then you
stole
stole a
because
cop's car, then
because
yeah,
the
you're
person
guilty.
stole a vehicle across the street and then attempted to steal a police vehicle. I mean, obviously, it's going to get argued in court, but those two you could stack.
So I will say though, something that was sort of. I had an incredible conversation with Sergeant Harris, incredibly long conversation with Sergeant Harris and Deputy McKenna about because we were speaking to them about why people don't tend to call lawyers, you know, why people like to self-represent, and something that they suggested was the fines getting raised all across the board.
You want to scare people? Like, look at this high fine. Wouldn't you like a lawyer to talk this down for you?
Exactly.
Well, here's the other thing.
I don't think
Okay,
that's going to be a good premise for my uncle to change it just to get
if
more
I was
work.
going to do some crime, I will gladly take the jail time over, a $15,000 fine. Like let's say if I got hit with 86 months in prison and a $500 or not, it wouldn't be 500. It'd be like, we'll say $1,000 fine. That ain't nothing.
It's difficult, isn't it? It's exactly the conversation we're having with them because they were saying. No, I don't agree with what they're saying. That if a lawyer gets called and one turns up, the plea of guilty is null and void. That the person cannot plead that, and if they wanted to plead that, they had to go to a judge. Go to a court about it. And then I brought up the fact that a judge is not always going to be available, which basically makes that null and void. Because then, if you're saying that people can only plead not guilty when there's a lawyer there, that means that people are just going to just going to go straight to jail, have to serve their time, and then when they come out, they probably won't want to fight it because some people just like to move on with their lives,
Okay, but the other thing is we don't give reductions on fines. It's only time.
Oh, is it only? Oh, is that a recent thing?
No, I was told never give reduction on fines.
Oh well.
You can extend the days, like if you plead not guilty, you extend it to 30 days. But I was always told to only do time, not fines.
Whoopsie daisies, I suppose. I've gotten people's fines reduced many a time.
Yeah, but that's with a lawyer. That's different.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant in general. Oh no, I agree. There should be, there should be a reason that the lawyer needs to get called. So something that should not be available that was available to them when they were in there. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant when lawyers were there as well. That's why I was.
No. I mean, if you're there arguing with somebody, I'll happily take that shit because it's like it gives you something to do, and it gives me something to do.
Because I look forward to the time. I look forward to the time that I talk to you in the cell.
Oh, if you walk into the goddamn cell, I'm quitting. I'm gonna say, I ain't dealing with his ass. I quit. I'm walking out. He ain't throwing the book at me.
But that's my favorite thing to do.
I already have Amber up my ass. I told her I said we're gonna have a cat fight down in the cells.
Bloody hell.
But see, another thing that I've noticed that whenever I know there's a lawyer, I throw all the charges at him. Just so you guys could fight it.
Which is I'm going to bring this up in the meeting on Sunday to the Chief Justice, just because I feel like there's some officers that have been lenient on people because they're not wanting, because they're wanting to be lenient on them, but they still have the thing. But then that does sort of take away from, my job.
I mean, if there's no lawyers available, okay, then kind
I
of use
get
your
that.
best judgment. Like, don't go absolutely fucking hard on them. But if there's a lawyer, motherfucker, I'm stacking everything I can on that shit just so you can sit there and argue with me.
Noted. I'll see you. I'll see. I'll see. I'll see you.
I'll find a random
Oh.
ass petty shit and be like, yeah, here's a speed ticket, here's this, and just to have you come
Oh
over.
yeah, it was speeding.
Brooks,
but
you
it was,
can't do that. Be like, well, why can't I?
It was speeding, but it was also illegal salvaging.
Yeah, he was speeding down the interstate, but he's also reckless invading. He murdered an animal.
I do believe that is something that GMS wanted to put forward. If I'll be correct, it's like have more strict, laws
Oh yeah,
and stuff.
there's all can of worms coming for hunting and everything.
I think that's good. Fishing as well. Whenever the fish decide to return to the shores of Los Santos.
But yeah, I think a joyriding charge would be redundant given what's already there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do you ever look at the penal code sometimes and just think, oh, there's some of these charges I wish someone would
Yes.
actually get at some point so I can actually
All the
fight.
time.
Like, obviously, I don't wish for the harm on the people or things that someone doing that crime would affect.
I look at all the petty ass shit and think, what the hell would you do to get that? And then I think if I was a criminal, I would do that shit. Like prostitution. If I was a criminal, I would get a prostitution charge just to say I did.
I think you just go do it now. Just go stand on the corner. Oh, Mr. Moses.
Is there even a prostitution charge?
Yeah, there is.
Hello. What?
And I don't like
Do you want to
talking
head to
about
my
it.
office quickly? We have a quick
Reason
chat.
I got hit
Oh,
with
of
that.
course.
I'll be right back there, folks.
Because people don't understand the definition of prostitution.
Yeah, apparently I'm prostitute. Whenever I have my pimp outfit, I got accused that was prostitution.
And I think this definition should be clear for people that don't already know. According to this, no person shall provide someone with the service of prostitution or solicit anyone into acting as a prostitute. But what if they're not already aware of the definition of prostitute?
Okay, but the other thing is,
You can't use the word.
what it doesn't say is, in order to get a prostitution charge, you have to pay.
Yes, payment for sex work. Define what prostitution is so everyone understands what this is. Like, that's literally why what happened to me and Victor happened. Because they said it was payment for pleasure, and they said our date auction was prostitution. So I'm like, that's just a really sore spot for me. Because there's uneducated people in this world.
All right, I'm gonna go take a drive to the hospital real fast. I'll be back.